Welcome. Hi, I'm John Roth. I was called in 2013 to come to Southwest Florida and to begin a new church and a campus ministry to Florida Gulf Coast University. But not just any type of church or just a church for certain people who've already been churched, but one to reach those who have not been reached before by more traditional congregations. And so, over a course of time of studying, praying, working with others, this community, understanding the University of Florida Gulf Coast University, that is, and all of these things, we came together to launch Thrive Community Church. And over the last few years, we have truly been blessed to see it grow and to expand its ministry and influence, though in hidden ways. And so I am here to share with you a bit of how we have gotten to a point where now we are looking at the next couple of years and the vision that we have for Thrive and its future. Now, this is all in the context of what we've just experienced in 2020, which no one saw it coming, really. The impact of the pandemic, the economic fallout, the isolation, how we've had to kind of jazzily be innovative and move to different types of ministry to restrict our in-person gatherings to fit in with the protocols of the COVID-19 pandemic, not just for that sake, but really for the love of our neighbor and for the care of others. And so we've been fairly innovative through Zoom and online streaming and in-person worship with social distancing guidelines, hybrid work, all sorts of things. But 2020 was a tough year. And it did teach us a number of things. One is that some of our strategic plans and our ideas get thrown out the window almost at any given time, and we have to try to instead seek what God's will is for Thrive. So even in that light, all of that I am going to say today is with a big Lord willing, and not only Lord willing, but what we're trying to do at Thrive is to seek His will. Instead of trying to come up with our ideas and plan and have all the business minds get together and figure out what would be a good marketing strategy and all of these things, and then ask God to bless what we are doing. We, instead, have started in 2021 a vision and prayer team. As many as want to join in, we are welcome to have them. And we are pursuing God's will together and asking for His will first. And so even the ideas that I might be sharing in this video today, some of them will probably be tossed out through the process of honing in on what God's will is for Thrive, for this community, and here for the campus ministry we have at Florida Gulf Coast University. So honestly, I've had many expectations and plans over the years. I've dreamed a lot of dreams, and so have we as a congregation, and many of those did not come to fruition. They just didn't happen, and maybe that's good. In fact, praise God, my plans have not happened here, nor even the majority of what people want to see happen here. We are now seeking God's will more than ever, especially after being humbled through this last year of the COVID-19 pandemic and into 2021. And so, with all that said, we know we have access to 9.2 acres right across the street from Florida Gulf Coast University. We are praying through how God may be wanting us to use that facility and that land. We are hoping to see in 2022 a building of some type that would be a community center or a conference center where it's used 24/7 rather than just 1 or 2 days a week, where we are blessing and discipling the community. In fact, our mission from the beginning has not changed. Thrive exists to bless and disciple people in their relationship to Jesus Christ and others, and through that, creating Christian community. So we are trying to have them thrive in their relationship with Jesus Christ and with other people, creating Christian community. And that's been going on. Now, I can't wait till we get beyond some of this pandemic, and that we can get on with some of the more tangible planning and the fellowship that we have had at Thrive. I can't wait till we can have, again, our Sunday evening gatherings and dinner, just as a family, 30, 40 or more of us gathered together to celebrate the family that God has made us, to be more like the New Testament early church in the book of Acts, where they devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching, to fellowship, to the breaking of bread, and to prayer. And that the heart of Thrive and has always been. I can't wait till we have more opportunities to expand our ministry to Florida Gulf Coast University, where we are able to impact the lives of students in a variety of ways. I have been amazed over the years at how much favor we have with both the administration, the staff and faculty, and the students at Florida Gulf Coast, and how we have made an impact and how we have relations with so many, where I have been able to even teach as an adjunct instructor classes like Contemporary World Religions, Leadership in the New Testament. And yet we see more opportunities through Bible studies on the campus with faculty and staff, student home groups, and an expanded presence where people feel comfortable and are welcomed both in our worship on Sunday mornings and in any of our small groups, though on Zoom or in person, and definitely in our gatherings and fellowship. So we are hoping that Thrive becomes not simply a vibrant, innovative congregation with diversity, with many generations learning from each other and mentoring each other, but we also hope to become a model of what a 21st century church can be, especially with, sadly, the reputation Christianity has received over the last few years and decades of being judgmental and hypocritical. We are trying to show God's love genuinely, fully, completely, and to be his representatives in ways. Because when I think Jesus is really understood for who he was, who he is, and we are aligned with him, people love him and will thrive in their relationship with him and with others who are walking in his steps. So I know you have been, you will continue to be very giving, sacrificial people, because you want to see not your will to be done, not just some church's agenda to be done. You want to see God's will, his kingdom to come to this earth. Jesus shared in the Sermon on the Mount that he doesn't want, he says, don't store up for you yourself treasures on earth where moth and rust can destroy and thieves break in and steal, but rather store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, and where those things cannot happen. And you might go like, well, how do you store up treasures in heaven? I think the answer is relationships, serving, giving away, sacrificially giving for the sake of the kingdom. Because what I'm planning on doing, I hope, my hope and dream is when I get to that wonderful eternity, the marriage of heaven and earth, where God recreates this world to be the way he wanted it, and everyone who is trusted in Jesus is there. I will see people that I was able to disciple or to bless, some directly, some through just financial giving and sacrificial giving, some in different ways, but I will see people there who are the treasure, who are the joy, who are what this is all about. We are all about relationships. Our relationship with God, our relationship with each other. So we are asking you, yes, to give sacrificially, to give without a necessary return right now, to give to maybe a congregation you're not a part of that you may never even visit. You might just see us online through our messages and worship on Sunday, or through our Wednesday night online streamed studies and discussions. And you might not get directly blessed through our ministry, and therefore there's not like a reciprocity in your giving, but actually God understands that, and you are storing up for yourselves not treasures on earth, but treasures in heaven. The people who will be there because of how you have given in response to God's love in Jesus Christ. Thank you so much for considering our vision. I know it's not as concrete as you'd like to see, but I do anticipate the favor we have at FGCU, the land that we have access to, its prime location, the connections to this community will truly be the direction that God leads us in the future. We're waiting on His direction and will this coming year as we are pursuing that will together.